Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's Divine Feminine Oracle Show. I'm Julie, and I'll be your host for tonight, and I'm here with my two amazing soul sisters, Meg and Sophie. How are you guys? Let's start with Meg. Welcome to the show.
I'm good. I'm very aware of my words and speaking clearly because I've been messing up my words all day today with this Mercury retrograde. But other than that, I'm very good. How are you?
Great. Me too. Same vibe. I'm kind of afraid for tonight's show, but we have a good excuse, so it should be fine. Hi, Sophie. How are you doing? And welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm good. I think those shows are the best one, to be honest. I think when we just mess up with the words and we just are natural, it's just fun. So I'm happy for tonight. I'm excited to be there with you guys.
Yes, and you guys did amazing last week. If you guys haven't watched the show last week, and we were talking about it right before recording, and we were like, was it last week? It felt like an eternity. I'm like, I haven't seen you guys in so long. I'm really happy to be here with you guys tonight. And if you haven't watched last week's show, Meg was hosting, Sophie was there, and Kristen was our third guest. It was an amazing show. You guys did really good. I had a lot of fun also with your 12 zodiac signs predictions. It was really cool. Let us know in the comments or in the chat how did you enjoy last week's show. So tonight we're going to talk about the Taurus season that we just entered a few days ago, and also this infamous Mercury retrograde that we're all, I'm sure, feeling at the moment. Let us know also in the comments if you are experiencing some Mercury retrograde moments, and we'll try to entertain ourselves with our stories, because I'm sure there's a lot of funny stuff that you guys want to share with us. And don't forget to like this video, share and subscribe to the Beyond Mystic channel, of course. And also on the MAISON Jupiter channel, we just had 10,000 subscribers. So thank you so much to all of you. Yay! So happy. We've been waiting for this moment for a couple months. So thank you so much for supporting us over there also. And we had an astro decode on Mercury retrograde. If you haven't seen it, it was right here, Mercury retrograde. So a lot of cool information about how to best handle this period. Meg and I went over. Did we do the 12 signs in that?
I think we did. I'm having a hard time remembering exactly what we talked about, but I think we did.
But it was a great episode. So go and watch it if you haven't already. And tomorrow we'll be doing a different astro decode. Oh, I have it somewhere here. Jupiter in Taurus. So we're going to talk about this year-long transit and how it will affect you. Jupiter is the great benefactor of the zodiac. So we're really happy whenever it changes sign and changes house, because there's new gifts that Jupiter will bring us. And we're going to talk about that tomorrow. And while I have you guys right here, you guys did record this special Psychic Spy episode yesterday. Is it on the Beyond Mystic website already? Do you guys?
I believe so. I just checked it and it was working. Yeah.
Amazing. We had a few glitches today, Mercury retrograde glitches, but it's up and running. So if you want to go check it out, and what can you tell us about this episode? I know we're they're looking at each other. Who's going? I know it's a censored platform, but what can you tell us? Let's start with Meg.
We came to the conclusion that, and we were listening to the feedback from our audience members, that we'll have to do maybe a part 2 and a part 3, because there is so much to investigate psychically with Disney. We got into the basics of Walt Disney, all the burning questions that we have about him and the Walt Disney Company. And it's the 100-year anniversary of the Disney Company. And their solar return is going to be an eclipse solar return on October 16th.
Oh, wow.
So really big changes happening for this company. They're, going through a big battle with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis right now. And he's wanting them to get the regulations that every company in Florida should have, because they don't pay the same taxes. They're like a self-governing system, and it's really weird within the state of Florida. So Ron DeSantis is battling out with them, and they're like throwing punches at each other. Ron is like threatening to build a prison close to the Disney World parks, and Disney is wanting to do their first Pride event during Pride week or month. Was it, Sophie, right?
Exactly, yes. And we covered also all the burning question, like you said, with is he frozen? Is there also a link with things that we cannot discuss here? So we cover a lot, but we know that there is so much more, like Disney Channel and something else that we cannot say here, that we're going to cover next.
Wow. Well, it seems very interesting. Thank you to the both of you. And I just saw a couple of comments here. Carol is saying so good. And yes, to part 2, 3, 4, and more. So yes, I think you guys have had a great one with this Disney episode. Disney show was great. Looking forward to 2 and hopefully 3. Thank you so much, guys. And okay, what else? Okay, I wanted to ask you, well, first of all, on a personal level, what can you guys share? How are you feeling with all the energies? We're in the middle of eclipse season. It's also Mercury retrograde. We just entered Taurus season, which is going to be a different kind of Taurus season because most of it is going to be under this Mercury retrograde. So a lot of reviewing. So I'd like to ask you first, let's say, Meg, how are you feeling with this season, and what personal energies are you feeling right now?
Feels a little bit all over the place, to be honest, because we're in a Taurus season, which Taurus is the second sign in the astrological year, and it's about slowing down and enjoying life. Right. Enjoying springtime. The weather is getting nicer. We start going outside more. We start growing the food. If you grow food, it's like enjoying life more, sensuality, food, music, all that stuff. But we're having an eclipse season and we're having Mercury retrograde. So it feels a little bit all over the place to me right now. And I really keep personally getting the message that we're not going to have clarity on exactly what the heck is going on here until more into the end of May, Gemini season, because Gemini rules, the mind and clarity and facts. And it's just a little bit weird. We're about to have a full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio, which is super intense. And we're building up to that. And we're all like on the edge of our seats, like, what is going to be happening here? Are we going to have a financial crash? Is there going to be some sort of, event? Not to be fear-based, but just like what the heck is about to happen? It feels like we're on a wave,
Yeah.
Someone
is saying, Trixie Todd is saying, tell us about your t-shirt, Meg.
So this is actually my best friend, Sunny. She has a online store called Temple of Aqua. It's like a crystal store, and she's also a graphic artist. And she designed these Atlantis survivor shirts that are really, really cool. So she's an Atlantean priestess, and I can feel the healing energy when I wear it.
Oh, I love it. Very nice. And what about you, Sophie? How are you feeling through this eclipse season? Are you holding on? And also, how is your cat? How is Sam doing?
Thank you. Yeah, she's good for now. So thank you for everybody for their comments and your love in the comments. I didn't expect to have any comments about her, so thank you so much for doing that. For those of you who doesn't know, she had a kind of a stroke on I think Sunday, and I have to watch her now because it's going to maybe come again. But she's an old cat. She had a wonderful life, so right now she's with me, and she's being loved more than ever. If it's possible. So for now, she's good.
I love it. And are you feeling this Mercury retrograde? And if so, how? How are you dealing with this?
Yeah, well, I feel that we're back with the energy of Pisces, to be honest, with this huge mix. Because when we were in the energy of Pisces, we had to basically say, okay, I trust you, universe, and you can guide me because I don't have the clarity. And I feel we're right back for a moment in that energy because yes, it's the eclipse. There is fated change. There is big changes in our life, but with no clarity on Mercury retrograde, and with the fact that it's in Taurus, it's supposed to be some new grounds for longevity. So I think right now we're back in this energy of Pisces. Let me know if that resonates with you girls also. But I feel like I just need to know what is really essential for me and to stand that vision and to trust that it's coming.
Yeah, totally. I'm muting myself. I'm sorry because I'm having weird noises in the background. It looks like I'm near a toilet, but it's not the case. I just want to reassure all of you if you're hearing water sounds in the background, it's just my pump.
I love Mercury retrograde show. Those are the best.
But I think it's a good validation for what you were saying, Sophie, the Pisces energy. It's very watery. Yeah, so yeah, agree with you. We don't have much clarity. We're like having to, also I notice we often have to make decisions during Mercury retrograde, and we feel like we don't really want to, but at the same time it's like maybe we do need to. Someone is saying my mic is a bit too high, so I'm just lowering down my volume. Great. Yeah, so I feel like we have decisions to make, but we don't have a lot of clarity. So sometimes we have to tune in and, let's say, listen to our own intuition even more than usual. So yeah, as you were saying, Sophie, good point. Like Taurus season is supposed to be grounding, and the grounding is kind of hard right now with all this cosmic energy. And let us know also if you had events coming into your lives with eclipse seasons, because usually eclipse trigger a lot of changes in our personal lives. So if you do already know what the eclipse has brought to your life, please let us know in the chat. We want to know. For sure, there's a lot of things moving, so we have to adapt quickly. And I feel like also the next one that's going to be on May 5th is probably going to be a big one. So maybe it's like the universe is prepping up for a big change in the world also. Who knows? Mm-hmm. You guys have a lot of like big events in your consultations with people. Do you associate that with the eclipses, or is that something else? Let's start with Sophie.
People are really tired of big changes. The stress is really hitting them. And I feel I'm in that gang too. I feel that everybody is really being under tons of pressure, tons of stress, and there is exhaustion right now. And it's not helping that we don't have clarity. So if you're somebody that is usually a lot of logic, you cannot really go with your logic. So it's just basically very exhausting right now for everyone. But in consultation, I see a lot of health problem for the people around us, and I see a lot of problem also with housing. There is a lot of change. There is a lot of moving still. It's been a few months that it's like this. It's just coming to a big accumulation. It's coming to this huge eclipse season where it's a firework explosion right now, and also relationships are either starting or coming to an end. Basically, it's not doom and gloom if you're fighting and you're in a relationship right now. It's basically just you, and correct me if I'm wrong with the astrology, but I feel that it's very much you trying to find your identity in this couple at this moment. And it's not really the other person that it will be put first this time. It's going to be you in this relationship. So it's not doom and gloom if you have problem, but you need to find yourself and your happiness in this relationship for it to be able to work for longevity.
Oh yeah, great point. And I feel like it's going to be also the main tendency for when the nodes are going to be shifting in July. So North Node in Aries, where your identity as an individual, but also where you want to go, your personal goals, as opposed to making too many compromises to stay in a relationship that you don't feel that's aligned with yourself. Do you agree with that, Meg? And is that something you see also in your consultation, or is that something completely different?
I'm noticing that as well, for sure, as a lot of people collectively wanting to shift into maybe their light worker purpose, stepping out of the matrix. I've been really noticing that in the past week and a half. Opportunities for people to really make a big jump and take a risk. And, we've been so programmed to stay in these safe jobs, which I hate to be an intense Scorpio here, but it's all about to fall down. It's all about to be a tower moment with, Pluto entering Aquarius, having been in the last degrees of Capricorn. The whole system is shifting and changing. So anything that may have used to have been safe, any systems that may have used to have been safe are no longer safe, so to speak. So it really is, like Ocean Odell says in the comments, time to open new doors and trust the new beginnings. It's really about that. So I'm really grateful to be of service through the astrology to support people in that and to help with the astrology and, intuitively, and also through what they're feeling, because I notice the astrology just shows what people usually are feeling in their natural alignment, unless they're really blocked and not in aligned with their natural energies. So people wanting to make some big moves, and I say go for it. We're in eclipses. We don't want to sign any important contracts until Mercury is out of retrograde, obviously, but start making the moves. Do what you came here to do. You can do it.
I love that. And I feel like also this security that people feel like they have if they're staying, let's say, in a 9-to-5 job or a matrix job, and not matrix job or bad ones. I just mean that sometimes they're not aligned with your talents and gifts. And that's all. We're moving into more alignment, more fulfillment, also feeling more fulfilled, feeling more self-actualized. And sometimes, like you say, Meg, we need to make the big jump. And I feel like this probably is a fake sense of security, because when the whole matrix collapses, then there's no more security. And there's even more security if you can supply for yourself and your close ones than if you're dependent on another exterior structure that's based on, let's say, banks and big corporations. So yeah, that's another topic, but I do agree with you very much on that. And before we enter our big subject for today, which is the Taurus season and how to best navigate it, I just want to mention here, if you would like to book an appointment, a one-on-one appointment with either Meg or Sophie, you can do so on MAISONJupiter.com. And also don't forget to enter BeyondMystic in one word to get 10% off. And I know you ladies are quite busy these days, but when would be the closest opening for you, Sophie?
30 minutes reading, the priority booking. I have, I think, one place left on Monday, and I will open some for Tuesday. Also, for the 1 hour, there is going to be place, I think, at the end of June for right now.
Great. And what about you, Meg? Is there bookings in June, I think?
Yep, I've added a few more bookings for June. So, yeah.
Perfect. So I know usually eclipse season is a great time to have a consultation, because there's a lot of changes in our personal lives. And I just had my booking with you two recently, and I had also a booking with Kristen. So I think I'm ready to go through those changes myself. Let's hope it's going to be a good one. And tonight we've got a pyramid from one of you lucky supporters, and you can go ahead and ask questions for either Meg or Sophie in the super chats on the Maison Jupiter channel. So one of you lucky supporters with the super chats are going to get this amazing pyramid, and I have it myself. I love it.
Hey guys, this is Carla from Ascension Organites, and today I have the third piece of the Divine Masculine series. The name is Sean. So Sean is made with lapis lazuli, blue apatite crystals, brass metals, and the seed of life in gold. So I made Sean with the intention of being the masculine version of Elena, which is connection to higher self. So it will be great for self-acceptance, self-awareness, self-confidence, and also because of the lapis lazuli working with the throat chakra, it is great for clarity in words and thoughts. I'll give it a quick turn so you can see it. And there's Sean. I hope you guys like it, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Carla. I absolutely love the colors of this pyramid. I love the lapis lazuli. I love the blue. And we also have an amazing candle from Elena on MaisonJupiter.com. And for today, it's going to be the abundance candle. So this one is activating the heart chakra to open up to even more abundance. So health and wealth, and also good, healthy relationships. So this one is eucalyptus and spearmint. So yes, and it's infused with jade, and I believe those jade crystals were activated at the very last full moon singing bowl meditation that we did together. So this also is going to go to one of you lucky supporters in the chat. And without further ado, let's talk about the Taurus season. So I have a slide for you guys. I'm just going to show it on the screen. Here we go. So this one is kind of a special one because, as I said earlier, most of the Taurus season will be under the influence of Mercury retrograde. So Mercury retrograde is from April 21st to May 14th, and Taurus season is until May 21st. So almost all of it is under Mercury retrograde, which is not a bad thing, but just meaning that we're going to have to go inwards a little bit more than usual. And also the sun, while it's transiting the Taurus sign, it's going to be marked by a meeting with the North Node at the beginning. So right now, as we're speaking, the sun is in conjunction with the North Node, and also the sun will conjunct in a few days the planet Uranus. So this is a Taurus season that's going to be a bit more let's say futuristic, but at the same time, this Mercury retrograde influence is like bringing us back to the past. So it's kind of a funny energy, and I feel like we're going to be thrown between the past and the future, and prepping for the future, and also looking at the past opportunities. So I feel like it's going to be an interesting mix, and I can't wait to see what you guys think about it too. And I think the big one will probably be here, prepping for the future. So Taurus is all about resources. It's all about food. So I think it's going to be a great time to just make sure you're well organized and you're ready for whatever happens later on. And the other thing that I wrote there, because Uranus is in Taurus and the sun will conjunct Uranus soon, Uranus being digital and new technologies, and in Taurus, the sign of money, it very much talks about cryptos. So I think there's going to be a lot of crypto movements, good for some and maybe bad for others, but I think the cryptos will be very much at the center of our awareness. If I'm missing anything, you guys let me know. I can't wait to see what you guys think about this Taurus season. I'm just gonna go ahead and finish this one, and then ask you guys to, well, I'll ask the people first, and I'll ask you next what you think about all that. So yeah, so how do we blend together this Taurus season with Mercury retrograde? Well, it's a really good season to review ideas and opportunities from the past. And maybe this time you want to give it a try. Maybe not, but maybe it's a good idea if you balance all the pros and the cons, and maybe you decide that you want to give it a try, because Uranus and North Node are all about taking chances. So it might be a good time to do so. And then second point is organizing your finances better. And it's funny because I felt like this is all I did today. I took care of a lot of stuff that I put on the back burner regarding taxes, regarding finances, a lot of stuff that I was like, oh, I don't feel like doing it. Today I was like, yes, and I feel great. So that I took care of it finally. So I hope you guys are going to find time to also feel more grounded, because I feel like when we do deal with those things, it helps our root chakra to feel more secure. So another big theme I think will be investing maybe in a differently and also strategizing differently because of this Uranus North Node influence. And of course, because it's Mercury retrograde, beware of drastic decisions, because with this Uranus influence, sometimes we want to make things, want to take different decisions, but also it could be too drastic. And don't forget that during the Mercury retrograde, sometimes our brain are a bit foggy. We don't think in the usual way that we do. So once the retrograde is over, we're going to go back and be like, oh, I think I messed up. So just make sure you don't go too drastic with your decisions during this period. And also there's a potential for misunderstanding regarding money and resources because it's in Taurus. And I feel like one of the big ones too will be prepping the ground for Jupiter's entry into Taurus on May 16. So during this retrograde, I feel like we'll be preparing, doing stuff that we put on the back burner for a long time. And then once Jupiter comes in, it's going to bring a lot more blessings. So I'd like to ask you, Meg, first, do you agree with that? Did I miss something? And do you feel like it resonates?
Totally resonates, as always, Julie. I love your descriptions that you put there. And I know people also love that. They always tell me in the consultations, I love how Julie types everything out so we can see it. It's really your Virgo sun, easy to understand, nice explanation and organized. So yeah, you totally nailed it. And I also feel like it's a little bit of a weird Taurus season because of the eclipses, the Mercury retrograde, and Pluto having just entered Aquarius. You know, Taurus is the sign that rules comfortableness, being comfortable, the comforts of life, and enjoying life. And there's so much going on that Tauruses, Sophie and I that have a Taurus major placement in our big three, anyone who's a sun, moon, rising Taurus, we've been getting hit really hard with the eclipses, the Tauruses and the Scorpios, because they've been on that axis. It's been, you know, Taurus is what is natural and comfortable. And the energy lately has not been comfortable, what we've been going through the past few years. So the Taurus season, with so much being in Taurus right now, the North Node, which is really like our higher purpose of what we should be focusing on, is our values and what's natural. So it's a little bit of a weird time because we don't feel that comfort unless you do, which if you guys do, that's awesome. I wish I was really feeling that. But there's that uncomfort of not knowing what's coming next, of watching tyranny in front of our eyes, of watching polarization between people. There's a lot of uncomforts as we're stepping into the threshold of this age of Aquarius. So what can keep us really grounded is focusing on those light qualities of Taurus, like, you know, Julie was mentioning, the financial side, our resources, our values, what gives us comfort and joy, and what is natural is going to be very, very extremely important, staying connected to that. So yeah, that's what I'm kind of feeling with this Taurus season.
I love that. Thank you, Meg. And so you, Meg, are a Taurus rising, if I'm not mistaken. And Sophie has her moon in Taurus. So you guys are very connected with this Taurus connection.
Yeah.
So Sophie, how do you usually, let's say, take advantage of this Taurus season energy? And do you feel like this one is a bit different because we're in the middle of eclipses and we have Mercury retrograde?
Yeah, this one is definitely not a regular Taurus season. So my moon is in Taurus. That means that I get my security from it, basically. And today I had to answer, do I renew the lease or not? Do I move? So stability, big things. And I was like, oh no, but it's the eclipse season. I don't know where I want to be. It's a Mercury retrograde. We don't see clearly. This is a big season. So I saw the comment earlier. Somebody said, do we take a leap of faith? Do we take action or not? Yeah. Well, like we said, it's a place where right now we're a bit of a place in between where we're being asked to do change. But basically, if you can not take risk, maybe right now, because there's a lack of clarity, you need to follow life. Just follow where you are being sent. If you have a tower moment in your life, if every door is closing and you have only one option, then it's the right one. It's the eclipse season. But other than this, if it's you that initiate things, it may be more of a risk right now because you don't have the clarity. And if you absolutely have to take a decision, ask a lot of questions and take as much time as you can, of course. This is a place that, like we said, it's a weird place to be in. So yeah, I hope that answered your question.
It does. And I watched your Beyond Tarot video on BeyondMystic yesterday. I'm like, what day are we? Tuesday. Yesterday. And yeah, I very much resonated with what you said. And I feel like you had a lot of unclear energies, but also needing to look at things from a higher perspective to make decisions later on. So it felt very, very much true to myself. Okay, so let's dive into the second and last slide I have for Taurus season, and then I'm gonna ask you, Sophie, to pull cards, and I'm gonna ask you more questions. So, okay, so these are the themes usually for the Taurus season, but of course, this time around, they're going to have a little twist, a little different twist, because we're in the middle of eclipse season, and there's this Mercury friend that's being retrograde. So, okay, so I wrote this one, self-care, beauty, and well-being, because usually Taurus is all about self-care, taking care of yourself, but also the ruling planet is Venus. So it has a lot to do with beauty, makeup, and also well-being in general. And right before we recorded this video, Meg, do you want to share what we were talking about with the haircut?
Yeah. I'm a crazy Scorpio, so I always do the same things over and over again, even though I know it's like not good. I don't know why. But a couple haircuts ago, I got my haircut during a Venus retrograde, and maybe I'll share the picture with you guys sometime. I got like a mullet that did not, it was literally a mullet haircut that did not look good. I was so embarrassed for a few months. That was like a year and a half ago. And then a few days ago, or 5 days ago, the day before Mercury went retrograde, I needed to get a haircut because I was having like a lot of split ends, like normally that happens. And I thought, okay, it's a Mercury retrograde. This is about, the mind and communication and social media. I'll be good to get my haircut. I was like traumatized when I had got it done before and the mullet went really bad. But I forgot, I wasn't thinking straight, Mercury retrograde, that it's in Taurus, this retrograde, which is our beauty and appearance and self-care. And it was weird. It's like a weird cut. Sophie and Julie are being nice and saying it.
No, it looks good. It does look good.
You can't see it that well because I got the dark shirt on, but it's like way shorter than I wanted. It wasn't the exact color I wanted. Like just, it wasn't what I wanted. So yeah. Just whether it's a Mercury retrograde in Taurus or a Venus retrograde, which we're going to have one of those in the summertime. So you guys do not do appearance changes, especially in a Venus retrograde. But yeah, just being careful with all those appointments.
And I was going to plan, not schedule a haircut, a hairdresser appointment. I was going to cut my own hair like in the coming days. And when Meg said that, I was like, oh, maybe I'm just going to hold on just a little longer. Yeah. Corey Jade says, yeah. She says, and when they cut your hair wrong and you just smile and say you love it.
That's what I did. That was my Taurus rising. It looks so good. Thank you.
Yeah, I really very much.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the slides. So other Taurus season themes, and let me know, guys, if you want to add anything. So second one, of course, is taking care of your money, taking care of your resources. So, and also I wrote that right here, but Taurus also rules storage. So it's a really good time to make sure maybe you have too much storage, you want to change to more practical things, or you want to organize it in a different way, which is all about Mercury organization. And I'm also dealing with that right now. I need to organize my storage in the, what's the word?
The shed.
Yes, thank you. In the shed. It's full and I don't have place for my tires. So I need to, a little bit of information here, but I need to do a better job at organizing, which is very Mercury retrograde in Taurus. Mm-hmm. So taking care of your money, your resources. Also, another theme, of course, is enjoying good food. And it might be also the time to change your diet because Mercury is, again, retrograde. So thinking, strategizing in a different way. So if you know some stuff in your diet doesn't work for you, maybe it's the good time to make some changes. And also in the last Mercury retrograde Astro Decode we did together, Meg and I, we did talk about that quite a bit, about how we were going to hear about let's say, news about foods, some things that are into our foods. And I believe we were talking about meat specifically.
Yeah.
Do you remember that, Meg?
Yeah, so I think the news came out last week or a couple weeks ago that, and actually, Julie, I didn't even tell you this. I don't know if you know this, but supposedly it's been actually since 2018 that they've been injecting the pork supply with the you-know-what in the US.
Really?
So I don't know about Canada, but they've been doing that supposedly since 2018. This could just be a scare tactic, but personally right now, I'm feeling like it's not. I'm feeling like they actually are doing this, the mainstream, meat production facilities. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, we have to be very careful here on the land of YouTube with our words, as you know, because we don't want the Beyond Mystic channel to get censored again. The dark arts guys have been starting to inject the supply chain, the meat supply chain, with a certain experimental you-know-what on the animals.
Wow.
So unless you're eating organic meat, and this is a nightmare for me as a Taurus rising to be even sharing this, and I'm sure you too, Sophie, like Taurus placements are like, please no, if you eat animals. So yeah, it's this Mercury retrograde. It's interesting because Taurus rules food, and it's like Mercury, information being revealed retrograde about the food supply from the past. So not just something that they're starting to do now with actually all the different kinds of meat, but also that they've been doing this since 2018. So really crazy.
Wow. And maybe it's like, of course I'm shocked about this information, but like I don't eat meat, I just eat fish, and Sophie doesn't eat meat at all. So I don't feel as bad as I should, but like I feel like there's a lot more, let's say, injections or GMOs that we know about that we're probably going to discover in the coming weeks. Wow. Okay. Sophie, can I ask you to pull some cards regarding that, regarding the meat? How can we phrase that, Meg?
What is the truth of what's going on with the meat supply? Like, is it something we need to be actually concerned about, or is it a fear tactic? I don't know. That's what I'm feeling.
Not a good face.
It's not a good face. It's been tampered with for a long time. This is in the past. So there was different attempts. So it's not the first thing. This is not the first thing that they did with the food. They tried other stuff before. They're just using that tactic now because this is something that they really want to do. Now we have the dead card. So let me just pull one more card with the dead card. But just to let you know, the next card is the moon and the 10 of swords. So that was the phase that I made. Injection, King of Swords. It's true, they have been putting stuff in the meat.
Yeah, and it's no surprise because we've known for a long time that they've been injecting hormones, right? And
yes,
is it the beef or probably all meat also? So that's no surprise, I think. But the new surprise is more of the newest injection that they just developed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they just, like, we know it's been years in the making, but
the new type of injection.
Wow. Okay. Mm-hmm. So it's confirming that there's indeed a lot of messed up stuff in our animals right now.
Right? And it makes sense to. Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, I think I forgot to mention, Julie, when we did our Mercury retrograde episode, and maybe you brought it up. Let me know if you talked about this already. But the fact that Uranus is in Taurus, Uranus rules experiments. It's the ruler. Experiments, Uranus of Taurus, our food supply being done. True. And Uranus, when was it Uranus went into Taurus? 2018? Was it 2018?
I think it was 5 years ago, so that would make sense.
So isn't that interesting? Because that's when it's now come out, Mercury, through the information channels that supposedly they've been doing that. Someone in the comments says they feel 2016, so...
Oh, yeah. And right now it's so funny because Mercury retrograde is in conjunction with Uranus in Taurus, which is experimentation. So we're learning about the past stuff of what they messed with.
Mhm.
Yeah, wow, thank you so much.
Just to go back to those two cards, so we did have lots of animal killed because of the tried. When they tried previously, they created some kind of problem. So they did experiment and it went badly. So I don't know for you, but here we had some kind of crazy things with lots of animals, and we had to watch what we were eating when we were younger. How was it called? None of the name in French, but not in English.
Oh, yeah. I have a brain fart, but I do know what you mean.
Yeah, the exact translation, I'm sure it's not that.
Salmonelle? Is that salmonelle?
No, the
There's another
crazy
one.
cow. The exact
Oh, right, right.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't have the word.
So for a few moments they were killing animals because of the experiment in the past. And now they have some kind of mastery of it. They inject multiple things.
Wow.
Mhm.
So I guess a lot more information will be coming out during this Taurus season, Mercury retrograde eclipse season. Wow.
Can I
Oh,
ask,
okay.
Julie?
Sure. Go ahead.
So just going to go even more Scorpio intense with you guys. It's not just the meat supply. They're also doing it to the fruits and the vegetables.
Yeah.
So that came out from the UK a few weeks ago that unless it's organic or from a local farmer, it's going to start being with this experimental injection in the food supply. Whether you're vegan, whether you're vegetarian, whether you're junkatarian, whatever the heck you are. So really important to know our local farmers right now more than ever, and eat organic.
Yeah, and like the higher vibration of Taurus is also natural, like you said, organic. So I feel like now is the time, if you can, let's say, subscribe to a local farm that does like the baskets for like right here it's the spring season. So for the summer, maybe usually I subscribe to that. So if you have the same option where you live, it might be an interesting option to subscribe to. Okay, so let's go back and finish this slide. Thank you. James was saying mad cow disease. So yes, I believe you are right. So I'm sorry for the noise in the background. I'm just going to continue anyways. So pleasures of the five senses. And I also wrote here, feng shui your home. So Taurus is ruled by Venus. So it's a lot about harmony. And Taurus also likes being home and being in a, let's say, harmonious environment at home. So I feel like this is going to be very important to make sure that you feel this good energy in your own home. And also taking the time and living in the present moment. So a bit more of relaxation. This is the season for, self-care, chilling, having time at home, quality time with your friends also, and seeing old friends because of this Mercury retrograde and spending quality time with them. And also Venus, which is a ruler of Taurus, is in Gemini as we speak. So a lot of, I think, social activities will be going on, and maybe with older friends that you haven't seen for a while, Mercury retrograde. As I said, taking care of storage, and also a Taurus in, I believe, ancient astrology was connected to family and ancestors, so, and history also. So I think it's going to be a good time if you want to research your origins, maybe research your history, your ancestors, and a good season to focus on family. Okay, I'd like you to pull some cards about the energies for this Taurus season.
Okay.
What can you let us know? How are we going to feel? How is this going to affect us?
Okay. We're going to manage. We have the blockage, the card that says no, and the card that says release. And we have illusions. That's why. Okay, so it's basically, this is the first part of Taurus season, the part where we're at, and this is where we have Mercury retrograde. It's not a time to focus on new things, external things. It's a time to really, really be in your comfort zone, comfort food, family, places in nature, things like that, because there's a lot of illusions, there's a lot of uncertainty. But you said that it's going to continue after Mercury retrograde. So we're going to just take cards for this part.
Oh yeah, did we say that?
I think so.
It's possible. I can't remember, sorry. My brain is in overload. Like I'm reading the comments. I'm trying to have a conversation at the same time. Wow.
So when does the Taurus season end?
May
21st.
So we're good. It's going to be after the return of Mercury direct, which is the 15th of May. So we're good officially.
Yay.
And in this, we do have independence, letting go, trusting the divine, and we have King of Rods, King of Wands energy. So in this phase where we're not in Mercury retrograde with this Taurus season, we're going to feel way more relaxed and grounded, and we're going to feel more independent in structure. So the first phase, it's just to reconnect with yourself and reconnect with your roots, reconnect with what is your favorite activity as a child, or what is your favorite food as a child, or what is your favorite things that you would like to do, and just reconnect with your roots. And whenever it's going to be the actual for you feeling of Mercury direct, because it's not coming direct, it's direct on the 15th, but we're feeling a post shadow effect on the Mercury retrograde. So when you're feeling out of this energy of Mercury being retrograde, you're going to feel like a huge weight is being lifted off of your shoulders and way more grounded. And now will be the time to really, with King of Rods, King of Wands, and card of independence, of just taking new opportunity and feeling great about yourself.
Wow, it's crazy because the upcoming eclipse on May 5th is all about releasing, because it's in Scorpio, it's conjuncting the South Node, so all about purging, this word that you love, Sophie. Purging, releasing, let it go of. So I think the first part of the Taurus season has to do a lot with the eclipse, according to the cards too. And the second part, I think, will be much lighter, because we have this, first of all, Jupiter is going to move into Taurus as of May 16, I believe. And on May 19, we have a new moon in Taurus, which seems very positive. So I feel like the energy is going to shift greatly to more this feeling alive, feeling like a breath of fresh air, which is usually Taurus energy. So feeling alive, enjoying life, as opposed to this hard, heavy hitting energy of the Scorpio eclipse. What do you think, Meg? What do you make of this very Taurus season, very different Taurus season? The first part with the eclipse season, and then second part with Jupiter also entering Taurus.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that?
I can honestly say I think this is the most excited I've ever been for a Gemini season ever. And not to say that I don't like Geminis or Gemini season, but for me, I get really I have Mars in the 3rd house. So like Gemini season, I feel like my mind's all over the place, and my mind's already a little bit all over the place. But I'm excited for Gemini season because the clarity is going to come. I can feel it. Right now, we're in this, I don't even know what to call it. It feels funny. It doesn't feel clear. It feels scattered a little bit. And when we get to the end of May, which usually sometimes Gemini can be scattered, but something is going to be revealed. Some sort of facts is going to come. I can really feel it personally. So I'm excited for that part of the Taurus season. But in the meantime, I love what you said, Sophie, about just kind of eat what you feel like eating. Do those Taurian things of maybe we're not totally in the most comfortable space we'd like to be, but do the things that bring the comfort. And, the foods that we like to eat, the music that we like to eat, just, try to have relaxing time as much as possible. Really important things.
Yeah, and it's an earth sign, and it's a feminine energy, Taurus. So going inwards, enjoying, being instead of doing usually is more of a feminine sign and an earth sign. Yeah, totally agree with you, Meg. And speaking about the Scorpio full moon eclipse, we have this very special meditation coming up, and you can register as of now. This is going to be for the Scorpio full moon eclipse. So that's going to be next week on May 3rd at 3 p.m. Eastern. And the lovely Elena and the lovely Janine are going to lead us into this full moon singing bowl meditation with also a card pull with the energy, so we can focus on channeling in the best way possible this very challenging sometimes energy of the Scorpio full moon eclipse and transforming it into healing, which is the higher octave of Scorpio energy. So this one is going to be all about empowerment, personal empowerment. So using all this energy to channel it into your personal power and to manifest what you want in your for your highest good. So empowerment, sexual healing, which is all about also letting go of past traumas, past wounds, Scorpio with the South Node, and also rebirth. So I think this is going to be a very powerful one. And you can also register as of now on BeyondMystic.academy. So that being said, we're going to start answering some questions. So let's look at a couple of questions. Okay. I have a question for Sophie. Okay. Question from Odile Almanza. Thank you so much, Odile. My grandson and I own a home together. I want this to be my retirement home, and he wants to sell. What do the cards say for each of our fates? Love you, ladies. Thank you. Thank you, Adil.
And of course, there's a racetrack just near my place. So, sorry,
I don't hear it.
When it's not the train, it's the racetrack. So. Okay.
Yeah, or the water in the background, you know.
It's okay.
We do our best.
As long as we know you're not on the toilet on the show.
I just wanted to make that clear.
Okay. It's going to be decided very quickly. It's still up in the air, to be honest. It's still up. So when I have those cards together, I would like to just check what happens if you keep the house. So we're going to know with that. So let's check what happened if you were to keep the house. I have to trick the cards because sometimes the future is not set in stone yet. So if you choose to keep the house, how is it going to be? You're meant to move. I'm sorry, you're meant to move. If you were to keep the house, there is going to be lots of repair that will be needed, and it can be water damage. There's a lot of repair that could be needed with time, and you may say right now it's not a problem, but if you don't have money on the side for tons of repair, if you don't have the energy, if you don't know the people to do it, it can be a problem. Yeah, lots of repair in the house. So you're supposed to go, and you're supposed to go to a place where you know other people. So maybe brothers and sister families or friends, but you're supposed to go somewhere that is with people that you know, so you're secure there.
Wow. Okay. Hope it helps, Adil. It's not an easy decision to make. Of course, it's eclipse season, but I hope it helps. Thank you so much, Sophie. And okay, we're going to take one more question because we really have to end this show, because in 5 minutes, we have another one coming up. It's going to be the Woo in Review on the Rumble channel. So I have a question, a special question for you from a special someone. Whoops, I muted you. Sorry.
Yeah.
We had a bit of an echo.
Yeah.
So can you pull cards or go with your intuition for Sunny's question, which is, what is my biggest lesson for my current first Saturn?
So would you mind, Julie, if we let Sophie do this? Because this is my best friend, and I feel like it would be better for her to hear from Sophie, who she hasn't met yet, than if I were to do the reading.
Of course.
Does that sound
Go
good?
ahead, Sophie, if that's okay.
Okay, let's see. Oh, it's your gift. I already know it. It's your gift. It's you're going to be challenged to use your gift in a way that is even more in your day-to-day, and to trust it even more. So you're going to be ascending, and you're going to be forced to really integrate your gift to your day-to-day.
Wow. Meg, do you remember her where her Saturn is?
Her Saturn is in Pisces in her 8th house at 5 degrees.
Wow. Okay. It makes a lot of sense.
And she's a Leo rising, so she does have a lot of gifts. She's very special.
So Saturn in Pisces is a lot about, psychic gifts. And the 8th house is all about the esoterics and conspiracy theories, and also astrology, tarot, all that stuff. So really maybe working with this Saturn, also starting to work professionally with your gifts. What do you think? Does that make sense?
It does make sense. Makes total sense. She says, LOL, help me, Jesus.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sophie, and thank you, Meg. And okay, so just before we end the show, don't forget to tune in tomorrow. That's going to be at 4 p.m. Eastern on the Maison Jupiter channel. We're going to talk about specifically Jupiter in Taurus. And maybe we can go also do a prediction for the 12 zodiac signs. Who knows, with the lovely Meg over here. So Jupiter in Taurus is going to bring a lot new gifts to one of your areas in your birth chart. So we're going to go over that. Very excited for this transit. And also tomorrow I'm going to, I'm going to record this Astro Woo for the month of May for the 12 zodiac signs with Janine and JC. So this is going to be available probably tomorrow later during the day, and we'll have the edited videos for the 12 zodiac signs for the predictions for, first of all, the eclipse of May 5th eclipse for the 12 zodiac signs, also Jupiter entering Taurus for the 12 zodiac signs, and also the new moon that we're going to have in Taurus, which is going to be a special kind of opportunities, a new start in one of your houses, so one of your areas in your personal life. So before we end, don't forget to use Beyond Mystic to get 10% off on your next booking, one-on-one booking with either Meg or Sophie. If you have any personal questions you'd like to ask, if you'd like more guidance with your birth chart, with your transit, and also any kind of question you'd like to ask either the tarot or the astrologer, the famous Meg over here. So go ahead and book on Maison Jupiter if you'd like to. And also, I'd like to thank all of you for your amazing comments and your chats. And that was very funny talking about Mercury retrograde and this Taurus season with all of you guys. And thank you, Meg and Sophie. As usual, it was lovely to chat with you guys. And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to give it a like and also subscribe on both Maison Jupiter and Beyond Mystic on YouTube. And join us in a few minutes as we'll be going live on Beyond Mystic's Rumble channel and I'm going to show you the cover right here. Yes, this Woo in Review. So this is going to be a very special episode from Scorpio to Phoenix. So you don't want to miss this one. And I'll see you in a couple of minutes. Love all of you and au revoir. See you soon.
Love you guys. Bye.